Welcome to Hideout and this Age of Empires forecasted game with Viaro Ochuchiuzi spawning in the southeast corner of the map in green as the Mongols. It's going to be going up against Do You Like Coffee in the northwest in pink as the Ottomans. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to Hideout. And I've been tipped off, okay? I've been told that this is a great game to cast, so that's what we're going to do today. It's a Conqueror level game, at least Do You Like Coffee is a Conqueror level player, pushing in the Deer Pack already and getting a nice early military score. So apparently it's actually about the pink player here, Do You Like Coffee? That's who we're watching today in particular. It's going to be opening with a military score, pretty standard opening. Let's take a look at the villager at the top. It's got 4, 5 on food. It's going to be like an 8. It's going to be a military score, 8 on food and 3 to gold, I suspect. We shall see as we pan over now to look at what the Mongols player is up to. Getting that town center right next to the wood line, placing down an ovu, keeping the villager there. Suspect it's going to be a barracks for a a tower rush. He needs 1 wood. He's got it now. He's got 150 wood. Come on. There we go. There we go. It's the barracks going up. And I'll be interested to see if Do You Like Coffee, if he scouts this, whether he decides to drop it down a barracks himself. Because the military school, whilst it does give you 3 units, it's not the most quickest, training time for units. A great mining camp, of course, between the stone and the gold. Very, very nice opening. As you see, 7 on food. So it's going to be getting another villager to food to rally there to make 8 on food, 3 on the gold. And then he's going to go to the food ledge after that. But he's going to have to contend with an outpost rush coming in from the Mongols, which is obviously very irritating to deal with. I'd be interested to see what the Mongols decide to do post the outpost rush. Whether they go for the silver tree or, the Deerstone's landmark. Silver tree can be quite nice on Hideout because you do have the trade post right in the corner of the map. So a silver tree here would be great. We shall see. It could be a case that goes for Deerstones and piles on the pressure in the feud age. Another option is could be an outpost rush into trade, could be an outpost rush into fast castle, or it could just be a full feudal age aggression. So do you see those 2 initial spearmen do pop out? By the time that spearman does pop out, though, I think Do You Like Coffee should have a spearman already. The question is, where is it? That is the question. We'll probably find out soon enough, but might be harassing. Maybe going forward. There's the villager. There's a scout, so he spots it. He knows these guys are coming, so he's gonna have to do something about it. The Khan's making his way forward as well, and so I've been told that this strategy is a bit of an insane one from Do You Like Coffee, so we're going to monitor it and see what he's up to. Apparently he's gotten quite a few games with doing the same strategy, so if you like this strategy that we will see, you won't know until you see it, do let me know whether you want me to kind of cover more casted games from this chap. I mean, I'm not entirely sure what it does. We're going to have to see first. It's been hyped up a lot. I'm hyping this up a lot. I hope it's not a completely anticlimactic thing. We'll have to see. The scout just chipping away at the villager. So no barracks being dropped. So there's no real adjustment to the build order here for Do You Like Coffee, which is a little bit of a concern. It does have 5 villagers going on the 20-minute address there. I'm not sure if you'd usually use 5 villagers. Maybe he's going to look to try and drop down an archery range to get some archers out to try and combat it that way. Does have 2 spearmen at home, so we'll be able to be well equipped to dealing with this, at least for the initial push. But there are 2 further spearmen coming along. Sending another. Wait a minute. Okay, so he's going to just keep this villager here gathering food, sending this one back because it's a little bit weak. 34 HP, sending a new one, fresh out of the oven. But back at home, the Mongols, they will be going up to the next stage. It looks like a little bit late because there's no villagers on gold, which is kind of confusing, but I suppose it's going to stay with the outpost rush, kind of commit to it. Maybe they could try and get those spearman numbers up by getting food and wood as much as possible, but this is just not enough here to deal with. But Do You Like Coffee? Only 2 spearmen, 3 villagers. Might have to pull out villagers to try and stop this outpost, but if he does, he will lose villagers in the process. No textiles just yet, and he is aging up, but not quite enough wood at all, really, for an archery range. That's actually really concerning because he's been pushed off of. Well, to be fair, doesn't necessarily need gold now that he's in the feudal age, so kind of surprising that he still is on gold. Probably trying to just mine what he can. I don't think he can't actually delete this mining camp anymore because it has been damaged slightly. And that would give the raiding bonus to the Mongols. The outpost is possibly going to go up. I mean, the thing is, once the first outpost goes up, it's actually very difficult to deal with. Because it gives them a staging ground to attack from. You can garrison inside, arrows come out of that thing. Looks like Do You Like Coffee is going to be dropping down an archery range though. Next order of business. And here are the villagers going back on to gold now for Viaro. I'm going to call him Viaro for short. Because it's a difficult name to pronounce, of course. And, well, we'll go to the feudal age. We'll offer Mongols some couple of options. As we said, it could go for full feudal age aggression. Could go for trade. Could go for a fast castle. It doesn't really look like a fast castle with only 3 villages on gold. So it's It's either going to be trade or full feudal age aggression. Hey, I'm talking about aggression. The villagers do come out now for Do You Like Coffee. He didn't get textiles, actually, which actually maybe a bit of an oversight. Could have afforded it. So we'll lose a couple of villagers. There's one, possibly two. Well, definitely two. Will he lose a third or not? That'll be the question. Does have spears, though, that are kind of doing a bit of meat shielding. Does now back off, but the outpost goes down, and that's a nice bit of a pushback. But the trouble is the villager's still alive, and if you don't snipe the villager, that's when things can become a problem, as the archers are now starting to queue up. It's going to be a silver tree, so we are going to see some trade on the back of this for the Mongols. Going up the 7 villages, he wants to rush that. The question is how much of a pain can the Mongols be? Can he drop another outpost? He's dropping one there already on the east side, looking to pen him in here, trying to stop the Ottomans being aggressive. But nice play by Viaro. That going up, I mean, he's going to be able to afford some Aristotle's upgrades. Once it does get to the next stage, he's got 3 villages and gold, of course, and so that'll be a problem to deal with. He's actually going to try and deny this. Do You Like Coffee doesn't quite have enough spearmen. Has 1 archer, though. That could certainly help. He's going to need more, because the spearman can just dive in with the maneuver arrow for the Khan and the Mongols. The archer getting a couple of shots off. 2 of the spears engage. I'm not sure about that, but the archers in the back line doing a decent amount of work, and it's going to buy him some time. That's the main thing. The trouble is that outpost is slowly starting to be built. Another 3rd archer comes out. This one's being hurt, and that's the problem of not having enough archers. There's another spear coming out from the military school. Will he be able to start the villager? Oh, he stops the outpost. That's actually clutch. Now, what used to be the case is, well, many moons ago, the outposts actually used to be built a lot faster than they are nowadays. So that would have gone up by now if it was an earlier patch, but thankfully, things have been changed and nerfed, and a little less annoying are the Mongols' outpost. He's actually not going to keep his Khan alive, which is a shame. Doesn't have the maneuver arrow anyway, but he does lose it. And many would say that that's GG. There's a bit of a meme going on with Age of Empires 4 when you lose your Khan. A lot of people like to call the GG. There's a silver tree going to the corner now, looking to set up trade. Relying on berries for food at the moment, and here we are, stable opening. So Keshiks could be an idea. Well, we've been told to keep an eye on Do You Like Coffee, so we have to see what he's up to. He's getting more stone, probably for military schools. Unlikely a second town centre, possibly though. He does have enough villagers on wood to do that. Just doesn't have the stone for it. It's going to be dropping down a stable. I suspect it's not a second town centre, because he is just investing in another military building. Going to get a blacksmith as well to boost up the production speed of those buildings. That's actually one of the bonuses specific to the Ottomans. And if you have a blacksmith under the influence, or the production buildings under the influence of the blacksmith, you increase the production rate by 20%, 30%, 40%, which is actually pretty strong. You know, it's akin to the similar sort of mechanic for the Chinese with the imperial official supervising. Similar sort of mechanic for efficient production with the Delhi Sultanate and the scholars garrisoning inside. And obviously you've got double production with the Ovu for the Mongols. So very similar, well, you know, interesting mechanics when you think about civilization diversity. And the Ottomans got that in abundance with the blacksmith and some specialized units. Going to drop a barracks and another military school. So certainly going crazy in the feudal age is going to put a lot of pressure. And it's actually probably the right response, because I don't know if he scouted this. We'll just take a look if he has scouted that. He hasn't scouted that at all, actually. So he doesn't know what's going on, doesn't know about the trade, and he won't even see the landmark. But by virtue of not seeing the landmark here, he probably will assume that it's trade, because that's really the only landmark you put away to set up elsewhere. And will he be able to get that villager? Just about gets away with it with 6 HP. Backs away. But the trouble is for the Mongols is a lot of this area is kind of exposed. Oh, the Keshiks come out at the perfect time. Going to snipe a lot of these archers. Spearman is in position, but the spearman against the spearman. There's a hardened spearman for the Ottomans. And it's going to take the engagement now. The archers do go down. Keshik staying alive. Just one spearman won't cut it, though. He's going to need a lot more. The army are trickling in, which is not ideal for the Ottomans. And he's starting to build up numbers, though, which is quite nice for him. Scout staying alive, at least for now. Do we see a trader? It'll be interesting to see how much gold is brought in by the trader. We do see one trader apparently on the field. There it is. And we'll have to see how much gold that's bringing in, but yeah, as we head into the almost 10th minute of the game, we do see a lot of production coming out. So 10 military to 5 in favour of coffee. And this could be an Ottoman's feudal age push. That could be the strategy, and it's a very strong one at the moment on the rank ladder. A lot of villagers on food, and a lot on gold as well. It's trying to fund the trade, it seems, and maybe even look to go to the car stage with a couple more Keshiks to defend, as you see the Keshiks pushing forward a little bit now. A good thing for Do You Like Coffee, he's got his military school toggled to spearmen. That's exactly what he's going to need. Going to be getting some of the upgrades as well, getting horticulture and bloomery. So that's an interesting approach. Going to go for the eco approach side of things and work on from there, I suspect. Quite a lot of military on the field, which is quite nice for him. Pretty similar village accounts, but Viaro does have a few more economy units. Probably because of the traders, really. Let's take a quick look at how much gold is brought in by the trade. Unfortunately, I can't zoom in at the moment in the Age of Empires 4 patch that we're on. It's kind of irritating, but it is what it is. Oh, we didn't see how much gold came in. Oh, usually we would. I think, because they're not on his position, his viewpoint. We'll check the next one, hopefully. Maybe, who knows. As we do see a bit of a push coming in. A lot of the production buildings are exposed. Villages have to back off. The trouble is for Viaro, he doesn't actually have a food transition. He's going to have to go for these pastures, as we do see now. But he's going to run out of food very quickly if he's not careful. He can't really push this back. And I just wonder, do you like Coffee being a bit passive? He needs to take care of these production buildings, at least pile on some more pressure. Speaking of pressure, well, the trade economy can really start to build up, and that can translate pressure for the Mongols if they get their economy and production rocking and rolling, which could be the case. And, well, the Ottomans continue to expand their economy, getting those houses built for the population capacity. And now he does decide to be a bit more aggressive. Now, the Mongols can actually pack up and move their production buildings. So I wonder whether that will be the case, whether he does that in time, because he's going to run out of time. There's a lot of torch damage coming out of these spearmen and Sipahi. Speaking of which, the Sipahi have actually been buffed recently. They are looking particularly strong. With a little bit of buffed HP, I believe, and but reduced movement speed, which, you know, is not too terrible when you consider they've already got good mobility with the cavalry. Here go the production buildings that he's keeping them alive. The Obu probably will die because that's the one thing that can't move away. It does start to torch it. So the military numbers really starting to build up. 33 military to 13. Holy moly, really starting to build up. This is courtesy of the Ottomans' powerhouse. And he doesn't even spot the trade, I don't think. He's not even doing anything to deny it. Which, an interesting one. Let's see how much gold comes in there. 71 gold per trip, so not too terrible. Oh, a good Keshik raid there in the north. I was wondering where the military was. Well, there it is. And he just used the arrows there for the Khan. The spears are going to have to come back home. A village is going to have to garrison. Not enough space in the town centre. 15 villages garrison inside. He's going to lose more, though. A decent number of spearmen popping out. 1 or 2. And the Keshiks are kind of taking quite a bit of damage to the fire, though, for the arrow fire. Villagers coming out to fight themselves. They need to defend themselves, and it's going to lose a couple there, I'm afraid. It's lost 6 so far, 6 villagers. Not the end of the world, but it did take out a lot of the Keshiks, so... Oh, that's actually pretty bad for VR. He lost everything, so 7 military on the field. Look at all this military coming out for coffee. Holy moly. Another Keshik comes in, tries to snipe a villager. Oh, nice save there on the villager, though. He garrisoned the villager in the town centre just in time. Alright, military kind of keeping Viaro pegged in now at this point. Viaro going to struggle to get to the castle age for gold, although he does have the trade set up, so gee, to be fair, the gold's coming in from there, which is highly irregular. Needs to be, I don't think he scouted this at all, otherwise he would have denied it, but we see even more military. 3rd military school popping out for Coffee. He's going to send even more military on the front lines. He's looking strong. I can see why they wanted us to cast this one, because it's a good demonstration how you can counter the Mongols, even with their ferocious outpost rush. More production buildings coming out for Viaro. He can afford to do this as well. He's got a lot of production capability in terms of resources to spend. He's not producing anything from the barracks. Going to go for archer range and archers and Keshiks, it seems. The army for Dialak Coffee heading eastwards of the base, just keeping everything pegged at home. As we see more units pop through, and yeah, looking strong at this point. Okay, well, the army retreating a little bit for Coffee, and now he's going to head southwards somewhat. But, just keeping his army static. He can't really push into this because of the town centre. Might be building up to a large push, though. We shall see if he decides to get some rams. We already see siege engineering in play. He's got siege engineering, which is good. He's got to get the steeled arrow upgrade as well. Maybe look to be a bit more aggressive from there. Alright, well, it looks like he's going to save himself, his units, at least for the blacksmith upgrade. He's going to go for steeled arrow. So he's going to be getting some bonuses to those archers. Be a nice little bonus for him. It's going to be adding the range and the range damage, rather. Increasing the range damage by 1+1. That'd be nice for those units as he's heading further forward. Hang on a minute. What is going on? He's bringing 20... Hang on a minute. He's bringing 27 villagers. Wait, is that his whole economy at this point? I mean, it's the vast majority of them. He does have a couple more villages on wood, but he's bringing a lot of villagers. I don't know what they're for, because... I mean, it's not like you're in the castle age going for stone. He's going crazy. Oh, he's going for berries. Okay, fine. He wants to take care of the pocket economies. That's a large investment, though, of villagers. Oh, maybe not. Wait a minute. They looked like they were going to go for the berries, but it doesn't seem like it. Maybe the deer. I mean, this is a bit of a crazy play. What is he doing? He's going to try and drop some outposts, maybe take his opponent's resources, try and get some bad manners on. Either way, he's heading forward a large amount of military. 58 versus 36. This has given a bit of an opportunity for Viaro to build up an army, though. These guys came out of nowhere. Holy moly, a lot of them. And it's because he can spend the gold. He can trade the gold. Looks like Viaro may be saving up to go to the Castle Age, though. He's got a static army. Maybe think about that Castle Age. But he's going to be up against a ram rush. Where are the villagers going? Okay, I mean, look. Hey, look. There was plenty of wood here. There was no need to travel. But these guys wanted this wood. Maybe a special type of tree. He wants more wood from the front lines instead. And slowly getting some rams. We wanted to see whether Viaro will be looking to get some scouting information, because does he see what's coming? I mean, I'm not sure he's aware. I mean, he's aware that there's an army there. I'm not sure he's aware there's how much quite there is. There's 8 Janissaries coming in as well, which is very nice. You get Janissaries as a vizier point, 2 per military school and the town centre, so there's 8 in total. Just a really nice unit. It's going to counter any cavalry, which of course there are none, unfortunately. Oh, I take the bat. There's 1 Keshik. And there's a Khan, of course, but mainly archers. So the Janissaries actually melt the archer, but the good thing for the Ottomans is it's got a lot of archers and a Sipahi himself. 7, you probably would like to see more. And villagers, I'm really curious as to what's going to be going on with these villagers. Wait a minute. Okay, they're going to be joined by the comrades. Okay, I see what's happening here. I think he's going to go crazy and go full all in, a YOLO approach. I can see why now this is recommended to me. A lot of villagers there on the wood. He's actually diving on half the villagers already. Okay, maybe just realigning things. But a lot of military on the front line, getting those rams, heavy wood investment. He's spending everything he's got. No villages on gold, no villages on stone. It shows you the ambitions to be aggressive here. A lot of food being floated by Viara. That's less than ideal. He needs a bit more on wood. He wants to keep up production. Is he going to get some Keshiks as well? Does have trade up and running now. Does have a good number. 8 traders. Not too shabby, but the trouble is, this timing push at 17 minutes, I say timing push, it's pretty late, but he was outpost rush to be fair. And he's got his whole economy on the front, 41 villagers. This is a bit of a menacing army. 40 spearmen, 8 janissaries, 13 archers, 5 rams, 11 sipahi, 2 scouts, and a metha to boot. And he's going to get another ram as well. Okay, well, he's got 4, and this is the 5th one. I think he's just waiting, biding his time, maybe acting and waiting for a signal, which would be a castle age. You know, if your opponent goes castle age, that's when they're most vulnerable, but no real sign of that happening now. I think he's gonna fight. He's got his signal. The Ottomans are moving forward with the villagers on the front. They bring out the torches. Holy moly, okay, leading with the villagers first. Does he have textiles? Oh, come on, man. He doesn't have textiles. Is he crazy? Doesn't bother with textiles. He's going to go full aggro. The Sipahi on the front lines. He's going to dive in with the spearmen in the back. Janissary is being kept safe at the back. Needs to dive in soon, though. The archers are doing good work here for the Mongols. Villagers are targeting on the town centres. The rams kind of getting stuck in between buildings, which is not what you want for the Ottomans. Trying to get hold of the ram is going to just try and pull it down the villagers in the front in the first instance. The archers trying to kite back, but there's a lot of Sipahi he has to get through. The Sipahi and spearmen just trying to nip away at them. The villagers for the Mongols trying to repair the town centre. They're doing a decent job of it, but there are 5 rams there with villagers' torches as well. Uh-oh, I don't know if this works. The Ottomans' army is kind of dwindling, but if that town centre goes down, that could be a problem. Villagers coming down to burn out the other rams. The production buildings being focused on next. The archer numbers looking pretty healthy here for Viara, has to be said. The Sipahi trying to get a wraparound, but there's just so many choke points. The villagers doing good work at trying to take down this TC. A lot of villagers do go down with the archers. He's focus firing, which is actually a really good idea because the villagers are trying to repair. The town centre is on fire. That's looking really bad. The archer numbers really building up for Do You Like Coffee in comparison to his opponent. The archer numbers not going to be enough for Mongols. The spearman just acting as a meat shield with the janissaries in the back line. He's being torched down. The town centre will go down. There's 15 villagers in there. All sorts of damage. There are rams. 4 rams still remain. That's the crazy thing about it. The villagers coming out to fight as well. Their ships are out. The archer numbers are still in good numbers. And the trouble is that while Viara is focusing on the villagers, that's a big meat shield. It can't be underestimated. The archers are going to be focusing on each other. The Mongols, though, they're focusing on the villagers. I'm not sure that's the right thing to do because the army for the Ottomans is going to take them out. And once they do, that's going to leave the villagers that remain exposed. There's not a lot left to be exposed. It looks like Do You Like Coffee is going to take this game on hideout with a crazy, insane villager pool, bringing out the whole economy. And that is it. We do see Do You Like Coffee win the game on hideout. And I think this might be turning into a bit of a legendary series. Let me know if you want to see more from Do You Like Coffee.